I'm Don Vito. What's good? How y'all feeling?
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, CALI. Welcome back.
Okay. We got our second guest for the evening. This man has a powerful story, very powerful story. You know, he's a black entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? We need more black entrepreneurs out here in the community. You know, we got my man, we just gonna bring him right in. They call him CEO Phils. What's up, CEO Phils?
Welcome,
What's up,
CEO Phils.
Really, thank you for having me.
CEO Phils.
That's me, CEO Phils.
Came all the way from Cali, huh? You went on a little tour.
Detroit, baby.
No, but he
let
came.
him know what it is, baby.
We gonna get into the story.
Yeah.
We gonna get into the story, but he came from Cali right now because he went to iHeartRadio. You moved around with it.
Yeah.
Tell him about the little quick tour you went on before we get into your story.
Yeah. So we came out here on Monday. We did iHeartRadio. You know what I'm saying? Went and tore that down. Then we did the Delancey yesterday. What else we do, man? We just got a whole week of press, man. Just going crazy, doing numbers. You feel me? Just running this bag talk up all over the city. You feel me?
I feel you. So like Doc was getting ready to bring you in, so we like to do stories around here, the Beat 139, we famous for that. So we gonna bring it all the way back, right? So tell everybody where you from.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I moved out to LA about 11 years ago, you know, got my feet wet out there, and you know, now I'm on top.
So let me ask you a question. So what's your real name?
Real name is Jonathan.
Say that again?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Fields.
Jonathan Fields, that's me.
And you say you got your feet wet. How did that begin?
Yeah, so when I moved out to LA, you know, I moved out there for an opportunity. Just opportunity at a better life, you know what I mean? Got out there and it wasn't as sweet as I thought it was gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Ended up homeless for a minute, but you know, that's a part of the journey, you know what I mean? And I just kept knocking down, and you know, found my way.
And who gave you the first opportunity what made you say, you know what, this is what I want to do, I'm going to stick with it and I'll go all the way with it?
Yeah, ain't nobody give me no opportunity. I went and got it.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I gave myself the opportunity, getting out there and, you know, having the mindset that, you know, wasn't nobody going to stop me.
But before we get any further, because I felt we just jumped right into L.A., you grew up in Detroit. I want to start with that.
Yeah.
Your upbringing from Detroit. I think that's important. We go into that order right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So you lead the people on to your story. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, Detroit, you know, man, that's the city of hustlers, you know what I mean? In Detroit, there's a couple things you can do. You can sell dope, or you can scam. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't trying to do none of that. And that's all my folks, they doing all that, you know what I mean? So I came up around some heathens. You know, at one point in my life, I was a heathen. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, life was good growing up in Detroit, though, man. You know, I didn't really grow up with my pops. You know, he was in and out the house, you know, fighting them demons, them drug demons and stuff like that. Moms was, you know, dealing with other dudes or whatever. So my grandma raised me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my baby. You feel me?
Right.
And, you know, she instilled some great qualities in me that, you know, I fall back on to today, you know. So, I mean, it was fun, though, man. You know, it got into a lot of trouble, you know, did a lot of crazy things. But, you know, the man above blessed me, man, and I'm still here right now. You feel me?
So I'm going to ask you about Detroit, considered like one of the poorest cities in the United States. Why you think it's like that out there? And what had to be done, you feel, to get Detroit, you know, the economy be a little better out there?
Well, first and foremost, we got to have the knowledge, you know what I mean? Lack of resource, and I don't think it's just Detroit, you know what I mean? I think it's, you know, a lot of urban areas, you know, impoverished areas that, you know, we don't get the information that we need to actually take it to that next level, you know? And then I feel like it's just crab in the barrel mentality. But again, that's not just Detroit. That's everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, guys ain't working together. They working against each other and not realizing that it's somebody else working against us. So it's like you fighting the guy that live the next block over, but then you got the big man coming and fighting both of y'all. So it's easier because y'all picking each other off and stuff like that. So before anything, we need to come together. You know what I'm saying? And then we can put the pieces in place, because what's happening right now, or what's been happening for the last decade, is these powerful companies, these corporations, they come in and devalue our neighborhoods, break it down to nothing, and then they buy the neighborhoods up, and gentrify it and kick us out. So we got to know this. We got to know the game, you know what I'm saying? And we got to come together. Once we do that, if we do that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like we'll be able to prosper.
So I say it before and I'll say it again. I'd have been a lot of places, you know, in the country, out of the country, and what I noticed, there's a hood everywhere. There's nowhere in the world where there's not a hood. There's a hood area. It might not be the same type of hood, but it's considered the hood to that location. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to what you're saying, that, you know, Detroit is not the only place that's like a little poverty-stricken and stuff like that, because I have some friends also that live in Detroit right now, and, you know, they living well. You know,
Right.
they you know, they got big houses and they doing very well. So,
Right.
but coming up in Detroit, and, you know, like you said, it's a lot of, you know, drug dealers and it's a little rough, but then there's some people that's successful. What made you go to L.A. though? Why'd you go to L.A.?
So I had a homie that worked in for the Navy. It was down in San Diego, and well, let me back up. So I went to college in Central Michigan, in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. So it's like 4 hours north of Detroit. It's in the middle of nowhere, just open land. And college ain't for everybody. I did that for my grandma, you know what I'm saying? She raised me or whatever, and I wanted to make her proud because, again, all my friends, they was out there doing crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me get away from this, you know what I'm saying? So then I went to school, but it wasn't something I wanted to do. So I got up there and, you know, I basically wasted my time. And then I decided to drop out, you know what I mean? And I ended up back at home. And one of my homies, he was visiting, the guy that's in the Navy or whatever. He was visiting, and the Navy is in San Diego, California. He's like, dog, you ain't doing nothing here, man. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you come out to, you know what I'm saying, Cali, check it out, see what's up. So I went out there with him, and, you know what I mean, it was nice, but San Diego was slow, man. So I was like, man, get me to L.A., dog. What you talking about, man? It's crazy down here, man. But yeah, no, my homie, he was the reason that I even went out to California.
So how long you was in San Diego?
I was in San Diego for like 3 weeks. It was like close to the 4th of July or whatever.
And then you like, let's go to L.A.?
Yeah, so I had another homegirl, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, it's kind of crazy, but a lot of people from my high school, they went to the military. I mean, I ain't saying that's a bad thing, but it ain't cracking like that, you know what I'm saying? But I had another homegirl, she was in the military as well, and she had friends up in L.A., and she was going up to L.A., so she was like, you want to ride with me? I was like, yeah, get me up out of here, because dog was living on the military base. So, you know, he wasn't doing nothing, and it was dead. So I'm like, bro, you brought me out here for this? Boy, I could have stayed on. You tripping.
So you went to L.A., you had a few dollars when you went to L.A.
No, I didn't. No, I ain't had nothing. Granny, you know what I'm saying, gave me a little change because she understand, you know, she moved up to Detroit in, I want to say 1967 or something like that, you know, from Mississippi. And it changed, you know what I'm saying? It changed a lot from when she moved there to when I was growing up. So, you know, it was tough. So she was like willing to help me get out of the situation, get out of the area any way she could. So she gave me, you know, bought me a flight and put a couple dollars in my pocket and said, go ahead, boy, prosper.
So where did you live in L.A.?
So when I first moved to L.A., I was homeless, you know, and then Granny, she gave me $5,000.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Give him that story right there.
Yeah, yup. She gave me $5,000 and I spent $2,100 and bought me a beater off of Craigslist, like a 2002 Ford Taurus or something like that. Mm-hmm. It actually ended up being a great idea because that's where I would live at for the first, you know, three months that I was in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I did the Craigslist thing, did a little bit of couch surfing, you know, because I didn't feel like I was above, you know, sleeping on the couch or anything like that because I was just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
So your purpose, okay, so you go to L.A., you buy a car, and you're living in your car. So what was your next step? Like, what you gonna do to survive out here?
Yeah, so I was young, man. I was like, I want to say like 20 years old. I wasn't really thinking of that. I think if I would have had a plan and actually thought it through, I would have thought myself out of it. You know what I mean? So basically what I was doing was living in the moment, man. And I just was going to the library, surfing the internet, trying to get whatever job I could get. And then it was around like, I want to say it was like Christmas time, and Radio Shack was doing their little seasonal help that they was hiring. And, you know, that was one of the places that called me back. And again, I wasn't above any of that. So I took a little $8 an hour job at Radio Shack. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Start climbing the ladder.
And I'm going to go back to what we was talking about earlier as far as when I asked you about opportunity. The direction I was going with that is, like you said, your grandmother. So she helped you along the way. So that's my thing. Like, who is some of the first people when you first started, besides your grandmother, who helped you do what you wanted to do most, which was music?
Yeah, so, I mean, my grandma, the first one, she helped me when, you know, giving me money to get out there or whatever. Then when I got out there, she reached into her black book and, you know, she got a friend of hers and that rented me a room. So I was literally living out of a suitcase, you know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
3 women, an older lady, you know, she grew up with her daughter and then the daughter's daughter. So I was sleeping in the daughter's room,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, inconveniencing them. You know, it worked, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? But as far as like helping me with the music and, you know what I mean, it was literally just my grandma.
Oh, that's
You know
what's
what I mean?
up. So that was your team.
Yeah, that's all
what
you
I'm
need,
talking about.
though.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's all
As long
you
as you
need.
got one good person in your corner, listen, you don't need many.
You need yourself too, though. I think, you know, Granny.
It starts with yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's your dream, so, you
Right.
know.
So let's keep the story going a little bit, right? So now, like Doc said, you in LA, you know, you trying to find yourself. And you know, what I found out about is that, you know, you open up a successful business with pets.
Yeah.
With dogs or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Tell them all about that.
Yeah, so before that, you know, we right, the Radio Shack, you know, I took that little $8 an hour job. Next job I got was like True Religion. I was selling jeans for like $9 an hour. Then I got hired at a pet boutique as a dog handler. So basically they had like a small dog daycare. You know what I mean? And so I was in there taking care of the dogs. It was like $10. Literally every little new job that I got, I was inching up $1. So I was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I'm winning, dog. I'm winning.
Moving up.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it started, you feel me? And, you know, the owners of the company, they was like, man, we like your personality, man. We want to put you on the retail floor, you know? So I got on the retail floor and, man, I can talk, you know, I can communicate. And so I was promoted to manager. And then while I was doing that, you know, I had access to the money that they was bringing in and things like that, all the numbers. And I'm like, wow, y'all really killing it. You know what I'm saying? They was doing numbers. And the clientele, they would come in. They're like, oh, well, I'm going out of town for, 2-3 weeks. Can you recommend anybody to watch my dog? Mm-hmm. Yeah, your boy, I can do that. Or, I work from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Can you recommend somebody to walk my dog? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So I just kept taking these odd jobs and, building my clientele up. And then once I got to a point where I was making the same amount of money that they were paying me, I was like, I love y'all, appreciate y'all, but I'm gone.
Right.
You feel me? And so I branched out and started my own thing, man. And then I think what really helped me the most was like I just always analyze things and see how I can differentiate myself, right? So when I started dog walking, it was an oversaturated market. And the only way that I was different was me being black. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I need a better way to differentiate myself than just being black. So I surveyed all the competition and I'm like, okay, they were all walking dogs. What can I do? Got it. I'm gonna exercise dogs. So I started running dogs and things like that, and man, it ain't no competition for me, you know what I'm saying? Not only was there no competition, but the price is different. Right. So, I was able to charge more and work less.
Mm-hmm. So what does a dog fitness business consist of?
Yeah, so when I first started...
They pumping weights when they go push-ups, what they do?
Yeah, man, so it really depends on the dog, but for the most part, running dogs. That's all it is. It's just running.
Treadmills? Do they have the little
Nah.
treadmills?
I was actually running the dogs. Like
okay.
actually out there running them, running 50 miles a week. You know
So
what I
you're
mean?
running with the dogs on a leash.
Running with the dogs on the leash, man. Bringing them back with the tongue on the ground. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? Hey,
Go to sleep.
they plop out. I call it the plop out. They come home and they just plop right out. Yeah, man. They would
Call it the flop out, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, man.
So now, how many dogs at this moment you have right at this time?
Right now, I'm working.
No,
with,
not today. At that moment when you started doing the dog X fitness.
Oh yeah, so before I started doing fitness, I had about I was working with maybe like 7 or 8 clients, but then once I did that, it set me apart.
And you start giving out business cards.
Nah, it's funny. So I ain't even do that because again, I'm always thinking outside of the box. Everybody got business cards, right? How I'm gonna be different?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a ladies man too. So, you know what I'm saying? What happens is usually the leasing agents at these apartment complexes, they're females.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I go in there, chop it up with them, throw them a couple dollars for lunch, little weekly stipend, and I'm programming them. Little do they know, I'm programming them. So now when new clients move in and they like, hey, can you recommend a dog walker or somebody, the guy that's buying them lunch, the first one to come to mind. So that was my form of marketing my business. I ain't do the business cards. I still don't have business cards.
All right, so how long were you in business with the dog fitness thing?
I'm still in business. I started it in 2014, and I'm still popping to today.
So you still have that business. So what made you, what launched your rap career?
Yeah, so
What do you rap about? Tell them all that.
Yeah,
Let's get to
yeah.
that.
So I mean, I always played around with the raps. Like everybody want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Again, I grew up with my pops being in and out of my life, so I looked up to rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of young kids from the type of situations, areas that I come from. I wanted to be a rapper. I didn't understand the business, nothing like that. But I played around with it, and then I got out to LA, and I'm a vegan, man. I've been vegan for like about 11 years now, and I was at a protest. I'm a real vegan. You know what I mean? Like one of the ones that's standing out in front of the store, like, your fur had a face. Shame on you. Shame on you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it hit me. I was like, how can I reach more people with this movement? Because we'll get into the wealth thing, but first and foremost, the health thing, right? So my granddad passed away at 53. He had a heart attack. My mom, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. My grandmother, she had her second stroke in 2014. So right now she can't walk, can't talk, nothing like that. My dad, he's overweight to the point where he done blew through 2 pairs of knees. So, this vegan thing, I was like, yo, I gotta get this to my people, man. This is some real stuff right here. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm at these protests or whatever, and I'm like, man, how can I reach more people? Put it into music. So I actually started rapping about vegetables and from an animal's point of view.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And actually, it took off because nobody else was doing it. I
Thinking
pioneered.
outside the box again.
Exactly. That's all I've been doing my whole life. Right. So I pioneered this vegan rap movement. You know what I mean? And I literally started doing it, man. And I done been every vegan vegetarian festival from here to UK, man.
So how'd it go? Let me hear some vegan rap.
Hold up. We can't let that go past. He said from here to UK, so that's big right there. So we definitely want to, let the people hear that and not go over that.
Yeah.
Vegan rap, the UK, y'all.
Yeah.
So can we get a verse with a vegan rap? I never heard vegan rap, man.
Yeah, I got you. Holy moly. I told her dance for me and drop it down on me because I got that guacamole. And then slapped her on the avocado because that fatty's awesome. Had me going nuts in the club, straight almonds. I could cash you out because it's nothing to the boss. And that's when she fell in love with the smile. I be flossing. And I'm stealing hearts like my last name was Lofton. She asked me if I do this. I'm like, girl, I do this often. Very rarely am I ever out of spinach. Hit the club like a carousel. I stay spinning. Mind of the chemist, trying to sell you like tennis, cause them cakes got me feeling ape and now banana split it. Your shape is terrific. To be more specific, the way you make it quake is like we on the Pacific, and I want to surf it. I hope that is worth it, cause I do not know how, but I sure will learn it. You know what I'm saying? So, little vegan bars.
We got the vegan rap. I like that.
Little vegan bars.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen now. Now we got the doggy fitness thing going on. You went to LA, man. You doing some things, right?
Yeah.
Now you got the rap game rolling.
Yeah.
Right? So let everybody know how you established the name CEO Phils and what does that all mean, man?
Yeah, so from the vegan rap, right, I wasn't really seeing the I guess in my head, I wasn't seeing the type of traction that I wanted, you know. And I kind of, you know, to be real, I felt like, you know, because this was like a decade ago. So I kind of felt like these people care more about animals than they did people. You know what I mean? And this was around the time where, you know, the Trayvon Martins and all that type of stuff, the Mike Browns was going on. So I was like, I kind of felt like, man, y'all ain't really going hard on that. Y'all going hard for these animals, but it's like real people out here being slaughtered. So that kind of played a part in the way that I was feeling towards them. And so I kind of distanced myself from the vegan rap, even though I may have, you know, found a lane, a niche, you know, but it was just like, I kind of got detached because I felt like they wasn't really, you know, the type of people that I really wanted to rock with. And so, you know, I left the music alone, but then my, you know, close friends, they like, bro, I don't care what you talking about, man. You gifted, bro. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know, and at this point, I had the business and the money was coming in and things like that. And so the CEO Fields, the name CEO Fields, my last name is Fields, and I'm a CEO of my company. So it's nothing like deep about it. It's literally just that, surface. Right. CEO of my company, last name Fields, because I rap about my real life. Right. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't making this up. This for real. Right. And I got receipts, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, that's where the CEO Fields came from. It's crazy because when the bag started coming in, I was still in that hood mentality. Like I was getting legal money, but I was treating it like it was illegal money. Right. I had, at one point, I had like $50,000 cash in a Nike shoebox under my bed. Like literally getting checks, going to the bank, cashing them, and taking the cash and putting it in my shoebox. You know what I'm saying? And man, you know, I got a homie that worked at Apple, and he was like, yo, bro, let me holler at you. Long story short, he was like, man, listen, if you put $50,000 in that shoebox in January, and you never revisit that shoebox till December 31st, how much money you got in there? How much money you got in there? 50,000, right? It's called dead money.
Right, dead money, yep.
So then I was like,
taxes,
so I was like, okay, that's a great idea. He's like, so man, you should consider investing. And man, I tell you, man, so I threw some bread in the apple, man, and yeah. Life is different, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where the CEO Fields name came from, you know what I'm saying?
So when you say life is different, so our viewers, they want to know, right? Because I know, but life is different so you have what you call a rags to riches type of story. So you're self-made, man. Tell them how you became self-made, man. Give them something, because people can learn from this.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to tell them what you sitting on, but tell them the path that you went to get sitting on like that.
Right. So
first, you're a blessed brother. You're fortunate.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So first it was starting that business, right? And then it was the little droplet of knowledge, because I was building the money up, but I was still working real hard. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you either are buying time or you're selling time, right? And at that point, I was still selling time. I was getting the money, but I was working every day. I was always on call, you know what I mean? So it was like I ain't really had no free time.
Right.
Even though I had like 5 employees, I still had to micromanage them, you know what I mean? And that conversation, man, you know, the Lord worked in mysterious ways, man. He put him in my place at that time, and we had that conversation, and I invested in Apple. So what I'm saying now is I'm living on passive income now. So what that passive income means is while I'm sitting here talking to y'all on the beat 139, I'm making money.
There it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that all started with me starting a business and then starting to invest the money. I make passive income through dividend paying stocks, right? So a dividend is basically the cash reserves or the profits that a company has on hand split amongst the shareholders. And it's usually paid on a quarterly type of time frame or whatever. You know what I mean? So literally, I'm just stacking into, you know what I'm saying, these stocks. And Apple, I got into Apple in summer of 2014. I think it was 14. They did a 7-for-1 split. So I think the stock was like $700 or whatever. Then they split it, and it went down to $100. And this was a way for them to let other investors in, like moms and pops investors, because like who going $700? Who buying that? Who getting in there?
Right.
You know, coming down to 100 now is more people that can get into it. So before I even understood what this investing thing was, I looked at it and I was like, wow, wait a minute, it was just $700. Now it's 100. It's probably gonna go back up.
Right.
You know, so I threw some money in it, man, and the bag ran up, man, and that's when I was like, okay, this right here is it. This is the way to wealth. This is how you become financially free. So then I started doing my research, and then I was like, okay, what can I invest in now? Because I got all this money, and I just through research, I just kept hearing, invest in what you know, invest in what you know, invest in what you know. And I didn't really know much, but I knew that I spent a lot of money on Amazon. And then when I said, like, okay, if I spend a lot of money on Amazon, I should be invested in the company also. You know, and I think they were like $600 or something like that when I got into it. You know, it's like $1,700 right now. You know what I'm saying? So that ran up, and then, you know, it came 2016, the latter part of 2016, the money that I put into Apple, or not even Apple, but Amazon, I took $5,000 out of it because I had started gaining profits, and I put $5,000 into cryptocurrency. And this is when Bitcoin was less than $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So June, or not even June, but what was it, December 16, I got into it, and at less than $1,000 Bitcoin, and then December 2017, Bitcoin was at $20,000. So, you know, my little $5,000 investment went from $5,000 to $1 million in 1 year.
There it is. And that's what we call the hood investor.
The hood investor,
CEO
man.
Phils. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
this is what the story is right here. Pay attention.
Yeah.
So when it went to the maid, how you felt about that?
When it-
Did you cash out or you left it in there?
No, I left it in there. You know what I mean? Because now I'm knowledgeable about it, right? And I knew that $20,000 was just the peak for then. So since we on this show, and y'all got the best listeners in the world, I'm about to drop some gems.
Right.
$20,000, that ain't the max. You understand? It's definitely, because what happens is the coin is scarce, right? There's 21 million Bitcoins that can be mined. 5 million are lost. So there's only 16 million that can be mined ever.
Wow.
That scarcity is what's going to create the price to continue to rise.
Right.
So this little $20,000 that we saw in 2017, that ain't nothing. And I want y'all to, everybody that's listening right now, write this down right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep receipts for everything I do. It's going to be over $100,000 a coin in at least the next 2-3 years. So if you can, put some money in it right now, man.
So you're saying put the 20,000 right now.
Man, listen, it's less than 20 right now.
Oh, it's less than 20?
It's less than 20 right now, you know, because it fluctuates. It goes up and down, you know what I mean?
Right.
And also, I think one big misconception about investing in stocks, crypto, whatever, is that you think, like, for example, Bitcoin. I don't even know what Bitcoin is right now. It's like
9,003.
Okay. You don't have to put 9,003 in it right now. If you got $100, put $100 in it. It's going to buy you a fraction of a Bitcoin. So the fractions of the Bitcoin are called the Satoshis. That's the whole cryptocurrency game, building up Satoshis. You know, I'm going to have to come back and explain this thing in particular to y'all because it's very, very exciting.
Right.
But you can trade between cryptocurrencies. Like the top cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, and then the rest of them are called altcoins. It's over like 2,600 cryptocurrencies. You can literally get in one coin and trade it off against Bitcoin, because usually a lot of the coins are not correlated, meaning they don't move in the same direction. Bitcoin might be going up while like Ethereum or Litecoin is going down. And as it's doing that, now your Bitcoin buys you more Litecoin. Then once it flips around, Litecoin goes up and Bitcoin goes down, your Litecoin buys you more Bitcoin. You can literally go back and forth just like that. It's easy money, man. It really is.
Wow.
So, as far as the stocks, where would a beginner start? Like, what would be like a good stock just to invest in? Like, say I'm just starting, I want to invest in something, and does it take like a lot of time, and how are you managing to do all that with the dog fitness, because you still have that business and the music?
Yep. So to answer the last thing you said first, how do we manage it? You know, time management is key in being successful, right? You got to break your days down into small increments, right? 'Cause you know, everything is on the phone now.
Right.
We already on social media. You know, you got great apps like Robinhood and, you know, M1 Finance. Robinhood, M1 Finance, y'all cut the check because I'm giving y'all a plug. But, you know, these apps are amazing for beginners because it has everything spelled out. Now, for a new beginner getting into, or a new investor just getting into it, I would recommend investing in an ETF or an index fund. Basically, what these do is they buy shares in all of the top companies on the stocks or on the actual market. So, like for example, the DIA, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index Fund, it buys you stocks in all of the top companies on the Dow Jones. And all you got to do is invest in that. They buy it on all of the top ones. You literally can set up automatic payments, so you don't even got to think about it.
Oh, that's good, because this is something I've always been interested in, and it's just as far as just breaking down the whole thing of it and knowing where to invest and what time, because I know with certain time periods where, you know, it's a good time to invest, and then, you know, different time periods where it's fluctuating up and down.
Yeah, the best time to invest is right now. You know what I mean? Because the prices are going to go up and down. You know, like my management, you know, he got into Uber at like, I want to say like $40 or something like that. Today it went down to 26. And most people would sell and take the loss. Well, here's the thing. Whenever a stock is going down beneath what you purchased, we take advantage of it by doing something called averaging down. So if he bought in at $40 and it went down to $20, he buys in at $20 now. That $40 that he bought in with one, now he has two for the 20, so it's three for the 60, because he invested 40 the first time, and then he bought, well, actually, yeah, it'll be 80, I'm sorry, because he would buy two now, the same $40.
Right, so he doubled it pretty much.
He doubled it, and so once it goes back up to 40, he didn't even break even. He's in the green now. He's in profit now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's real easy, but, you know, we don't have the resources, you know, in the areas, the impoverished areas like that, to even know that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So I just, like, I taught myself how to do this, and it's all out there. It's all on the internet. You know, whatever you want, you can do it. You just got to put the time to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Exactly.
That's
So
true.
what? I had a lot of people talk about Bitcoin, and most people I hear talk about it, they always say they leave their money in there, they leaving it there for a while. So how you know the real effect? You can see it. Like me, I'm gonna be honest. If I was doing it, and I seen, like, let's say if there's $1 million in there, reason why I take it, because I'm not gonna leave it if I ain't never. Everybody I talk to always say, "Oh no, I never took it out." Not saying I don't believe in Bitcoin. I really don't know much about it, but everyone I speak with always say, "Oh no, I leave the money in there. I got like 600,000 right now. I leave it in. I ain't hear not one person said they actually took it out." So now that right there, my curiosity would have been, I'm taking it out, because I ain't never seen them once physically tell me they took it out and now they living like this.
Right.
So on the believable side, I'm taking it out just to see if this real, and then I'll probably put back in.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, I didn't take the million out, but I took some out. Yeah, I didn't take the million out. So, like, I did like a training with a personal trainer in 2017. Pretty expensive training too. I think it was like $7,000 or something like that or whatever. I used Bitcoin to pay for it. I cashed out,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And I cashed out of that money and I paid for it. But here's the thing. You got to pay capital gains tax on anything that you earn. You know what I mean? So the reason I don't want to sell is because I don't want to pay no taxes. I would much rather wait for a day that everybody's accepting Bitcoin, because it's coming, right? You got cash on you right now?
Yeah.
You got cash on you? You got cash on you? I don't carry cash. A lot of people don't carry cash. You know, you usually have your debit card or whatever. You know, you got the Venmos, you got the PayPals, you got the Apple Pay. They already conditioning you to spend digital money. Just gotta think. You gotta see it. It's coming. The fiat, which is the paper money, the coins and stuff like that, it's on the way out. It's on the way out. If you really look into it, you see it every day. Like even where we at right now, even where we at right now in the world, we're in a recession. We've been in a recession for a while now. You know, that's why we getting all these tax cuts and all this other crap that they throwing on the news to keep you, away from it. We in a recession right now. And the way to do that, to beat this, is to get in a decentralized currency, which is a Bitcoin, an Ethereum, a Litecoin, things like that. You can't, you can't come to the party at the height. You got to get there before it's go, before it get there.
Before it gets exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't take the million out, but I took money out.
Oh yeah, as long as you're able to take something that's believable.
Yeah, no, you can take money out, no problem.
I met at least
Now
11,
you take
12
money
different people, and everyone say, "Nah, I kept it. I ain't taking it." So I'm like, how can you not take that? How you know if this is what it is?
Here's
Now,
the crazy
some people
thing
take
too.
money out of stocks and
No, I'm not
investments
saying
and stuff
some
like
people
that.
don't. I said everyone I spoke with.
Right.
Everyone I spoke to, not one person.
How many people you spoke with about it?
Like I said, about 11, 12, easy. I know
That
a
ain't
lot
enough.
of people invest.
That ain't enough.
No, I'm
You
not
can't-
saying it's enough. I'm saying the people who ran across. I don't have that many people that I ran across talk to me about that.
Yeah.
That invest in that.
Right.
So like I said, the maybe 11, 12 people I spoke with, all of them said, "Nah, I left it in. I ain't taking it. I got like 600, 200,000."
Did you ask them why? Did you ask them why they didn't take the money out?
They said they want to let it grow. Okay, cool. But like I said, me personally, I had to see it. Now that you said that, okay, cool. You're the first person I ever heard said they took something out.
Oh yeah, nah, it's like, you gotta be smart now. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Again, my initial investment into cryptocurrency was $5,000. The gym membership cost $7,000. You see what I'm saying? I'm already winning. So even if I lost everything, I'm up $2,000.
Yeah.
So I would advise, whether it's not even, whether it's crypto, stocks, or whatever, if your investment, your capital is doubled, take your initial.
Right.
You can't lose then.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I did it.
So we want to get to one of your songs real quick.
Yeah. Which one we gonna play? 25-8, man. That's my first single, man.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
CEO feels.
So walk them into the single real quick before you play it, like what it's about.
Yeah, 25-8. So the title 25-8 is 25 hours in a day, eight days in a week. We never not working. You know what I mean? That was actually the poor man's mentality, because, you know what I mean? The wealthy folks, they barely work it. You know what I'm saying? They pay people to work for them. But I created this song when I was first kind of coming up, and for it to be my establishing song. So anyway, 25-8, produced by my guy, Rated TG. You know what I'm saying? I'm just spitting these facts, man, telling y'all my story, how I started out.
It is. Let's go.
It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up.
Don't need street credit, union credit's excellent. I'm a young pioneer and this is black excellence. Self-sufficient with it, that mean I don't need assistance. Fuck a handout, I'd rather sleep on the pavement. Like Felicia, down to my foundation. I ain't just that I feel up a skyscraper. Looking good for me though, life's a celebration. Every day, cause I'm up, check the vibration. Before them dollars came, I was rich in spirit. I'm in tune with the universe, nigga, I can feel it. It's my time, stars align like some synchronized swimmers. Took some pills in the beginning, but since then, I've been winning. I'm the pure to my fate, and I know that. Like that game to my soul, I control that. I'm 6'9", ain't nobody trolling. Get there before the rap game, you should know that. All of my niggas is burned up. That's how they get, now we run up. Under our business, we bossed up. One thing's for certain, we never not working. All of my niggas is burned up. That's how they get, now we run up. Under our business, we bossed up. One thing's for certain, we never not working. Full of presidents, click full of misfits. This ain't hocus pocus, shawty. I don't trick on no bitch. She still gon' ride the stick. Don't fuck first night, I shake. Won't get another date, bitch. I'm too fucking fine to wait. This good kid just hit the Rolling Loud stage. With TDE crazy, I started on section 8.
Okay. Let's clap for my man, CEO Fields. Okay. All right, so now, like I was letting everybody know, you had a hell of a story, and it's like something very, very different from the norm. And, come from Detroit, growing up in like an unbalanced type of a atmosphere, family-wise, taking a leap of faith, going to L.A., taking that money, your grandmother, looked out for you, bought a car, slept in the car,
Yep.
got little odd jobs,
Yep.
start walking dogs,
That's right.
start training dogs,
Physical fitness.
taking that dog money,
Getting it.
got into the stock money,
Yeah.
got into the rap game,
Yeah.
turned millionaire.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel as a black man?
Hey, man, it's amazing, man. It's a beautiful feeling. You know what I mean? It's
On that.
That's me.
Yeah.
That story's crazy right there.
Yeah,
That's the story.
It's motivation, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like everybody that's listening to this, man. I never stopped. You gonna hear no more than you hear yes, but you just gotta keep going. You know what I mean? And then I want to say this too. So now I teach people how to do this investing thing, and I teach people for free. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting together a financial literacy course that I'll be dropping next year. That'll teach people the exact steps that I took
perfect.
to be financially free. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get to grandma. What do you do for her after you came to some money? What do you do for her?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I gave her money back. You know what I'm saying? With interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my grandma, she actually is well off. So what I do is I continue to succeed in life, and that's all I can do for my grandma because that's all she ever wanted for me.
Okay, now as far as the city of Detroit, anything you do for them, like giving back in Detroit?
Yeah, so it's bigger than just Detroit, man, because Detroit ain't just the only place that's, suffering.
No, it's not that it's only place. See, my mentality is I always like to give back where I'm from first, and then I go other places. So it's not that I don't want you to take it as I'm saying Detroit, like far as like that's the only place suffering. It's suffering everywhere. What I'm saying is I'm big on giving back where I'm from first.
Right.
No disrespect to nowhere else, but it starts where you from and then get out. Cause like you could tell that story better being from Detroit. When you tell a kid more, if you have a kid from Detroit, kid from LA, you be like, I'm from here. Now they will look at you more as a role model than somebody from LA. Cause you tell them I went here, I went to this public school, this junior high school, this high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They can resonate.
I lived on this block.
Right.
So it means more to that kid than a kid from somewhere else. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Not that I'm saying Detroit like I'm trying to say like Detroit is poor. Right. But I'm just saying far as that's where you from.
Yeah. So the course that I'm dropping next year will be, on the big scale. But right now I have a private group of 500 people that are, most of them are from Detroit, that I'm teaching this financial literacy to. So like, I give y'all a couple of examples. Right, me being vegan or whatever, and me being the first vegan rapper, I was able to meet a lot of the pioneers in the vegan food industry. And one of the companies that I was able to be introduced to early on was a company called Beyond Meat. I met which is an alternative meat company or whatever. I was able to meet the CEO, Ethan Brown or whatever. So I felt him. I was rocking with him, and in this group, I let people know in April, I think it was, because the company IPO, meaning that they went to the stock market and people can invest in them or whatever, in May. And I put up a video in April in this group with most people from my neighborhood or whatever. And I told them, hey, I don't care what you got to do. Get some money, because I'm putting 10 in it. Get some money and put it in there. So then the company IPO'd at like $25 or whatever. And then 85 days later, it was at $235. So that's the type of stuff that I'm doing to help them. And then, before that, going back to the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had went down to 3,100 in December of 2018. I posted a video and countless posts telling people, hey, look, this is the lowest it's going to go. Get in it right now. That was December. June 2019, it was at $14,000. You know what I'm saying? Then another one for you. Apple in February was trending at about $140. And I was just looking at the technical analysis on it versus the other FANG stocks. So the acronym FANG stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And based on the comparison, Apple was severely undervalued. So I put up a 13-minute video telling people why Apple would rise. It was $140. Today it's $250. So that's what I'm doing for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so the course would be a...
Good luck.
That's big. So is there anything that you would like to share with the viewers that we haven't touched on already?
I mean, just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Like, nothing more that about me, you know what I mean? Because it's bigger than me. But believe in yourself. You gon' hear no. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to see your vision the way you see it because it's your vision. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. Keep going. Don't stop.
Can you give me your social media links?
Yeah. So I'm on all social at The Hood Investor. You know what I'm saying? TheHoodInvestor. The Hood Investor.
All right, so we got
how
another
gonna do
song.
is
Right?
after we you tell them podcast show, we're gonna go off with your song.
Word.
So tell them what podcast show you on.
Yeah, man. I'm on the dopest, the most important, the only podcast. And this ain't even just in Harlem. This worldwide. You feel me?
There it
the
is.
Beat 139.
That's what it is.
Bullish.
Now we're gonna leave
CEO
off with this
Phil,
song
the Hood
right here.
Investor.
We're gonna leave off with the song.
Appreciate
Let me know what
you.
song it is.
Yeah. This one right here is probably the my favorite song and the best representation of the Hood Investor brand. We talked about this dividends, these cash reserves, these profits that the company has on hand that they are handing out to their shareholders. This is how I live my life passively, baby. Dividends, another record produced by my dog, Rated TJ.
Let's go.
I done got the bag, but the bag ain't enough. So I invest, cause I'm tryna level up. Tryna triple up without a triple B. I ain't got time for the penitentiary. Run me my dividends. I need my dividends. The way I invest, I should go pro. I don't take L's, only make goals. If you take one look at my folio, you gon' get sick, cause this shit is gross. And I'm obsessed with adding some more, just letting it sit and watching it grow. I love stocks and bonds, but what I love most is them dividends. I treat them like them. What you do? Step on that, then I reinvest it. So diverse that I'm well protected. I done got the bag, but the bag ain't enough. So I invest, cause I'm tryna level up. Tryna triple up without a triple B. I ain't got time for the penitentiary. Run me my dividends. Run me my dividends. I need my dividends. Hey look, this the verse right here. That's extra bands, I'm finna invest. Plus only love, I'm making it stretch. Like for the whip, I'm bringing it back. Jump out the pot and straight on the map. Look at them games, this shit is like crack. You know I'm a dog, you know it's gon' slap. I threw 20 in it, just making a splash. In matter of months, I triple my racks. What you do? Step on that, then I reinvest it. Yeah. So diverse that I'm well protected. I done got the bag, but the bag ain't enough. So I invest, cause I'm tryna level up. Tryna triple up.
CEO Phil, the Hood Investor.
I ain't got time for the penitentiary.
I gotta support this brother right here.
Run me my dividends.